Hello there, sorry for the technical difficulties, Spud here, and I thank you for tuning in today for another live creator interview from the fan site Army of Darkness and Evil Dead Comics. Our guest today is Mauro Vargas, the groovy artist for the 2017 mini-series Ash vs. the Army of Darkness. Before I introduce Mauro, I would like to bring in my partner in crime and co-host, Jake from Hounds of Gore. Jake, how are you?
Hey, good. How you doing, man? It's good to see you again.
No, you too, mate. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, what's been happening?
Not a lot. Same old kind of things are going on. Instagram's going well. As far as art-wise going, I have started kind of working on some blank sketch covers that I've currently got for myself. I'm working on 2 blank sketch covers of the Army of Darkness versus Reanimator, Necronomicon Rising. So I got one of Ash, and then I don't know if you can see Herbert West on there, but so I got these 2 started right now, and then I do have some stuff coming from you that I've been working on.
I might have sent you a couple of blanks as well, huh?
Yeah, so that's, kind of started working on those, so I'm really excited. I got some supplies coming tomorrow, some new art supplies, some alcohol markers, and some whiteout pens and stuff like that. So the adventure will continue with making the artwork, so I'm really excited for that this week.
Wicked. All right. Well, today we've got Mauro Vargas, so let's talk about him for a moment. Of course, Mauro is a comic book artist from Argentina who worked as the inker for the Star Wars series Darth Maul, son of Dathomir, as well as the miniseries Call of Duty Zombies 2, both originally published by Dark Horse. Mauro has also worked on the Avatar Press series Crossed and Crossed Badlands, and more recently, he has done work for Penthouse Comics. For Dynamite, Mauro has worked on Smosh, Grumpy Cat, and of course, was the interior artist for Ash vs. the Army of Darkness, also contributing cover art for each issue. Without further ado, may I please introduce Mauro Vargas. Hi, Mauro. Thank you very much for joining us. Forgive me if I missed anything there.
How are you?
Great, thank you.
First of all, nice to meet you, and thanks for inviting me to your stream.
Our pleasure. Yeah, our pleasure. No, thank you very much. Okay, so Jake, did you want to give everyone a rundown of the series firstly?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mauro, again for joining us. I'll give you a little rundown of the series, since we're kind of going in a different direction with the stream, with talking with an artist. So, firstly, if Spud can share your screen, we'll go through Ash versus the Army of Darkness. Begins with Ash recapping, of course, the events of Army of Darkness, with Ash dispatching the Deadite that pops up at the S-Mart where Ash works. Followed by Ash getting fired from S-Mart and learning that the Deadite from the store was actually the librarian at a local high school where there have been other reports of Deadite activity. So there's Ash leaving. And then Ash is basically convinced to investigate. And this leads to him posing as a substitute teacher when all hell and hilarity soon breaks loose.
How good. And just going through a few more screens there. Love that action shot there.
That one's great.
Excellent. Language. All right. Well, Mauro, firstly, please tell us about working on this series with the writers, Chad Bowers and Chris Sims.
Yeah, working with them was very, very easy because the script was always on time, and I remember I only talked with Chad Bowers. The other writer, Chris Sims, I never have any contact. I remember when we started the work, we have a general mail where I say hello to all, and well, Chris didn't say anything. I don't have any answers. So I talk a lot with Chad, who was a nice guy, and we didn't even talk about the work on this comic. We talk a lot about movies, comics, artists, and it was a really nice guy. We continue later in touch, and we almost worked in a personal project he had. But well, he was really busy working with Rob Liefeld, so he
Okay.
we can work again, but it was a real nice guy, and really was interested in the opinion of any script I received. I remember for issue 0, 1, 2, he always was asking me about my thoughts of the scripts but it was really a cool guy.
That's great that you had input as well, and was that you were asked to contribute in that way. That's great.
Yes, and he loved the some nerd things I add. For example, there's a cup with the Three Stooges.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In a page where it's Ted Raimi,
Mhm.
and I add because I know Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell are fans of the Three Stooges, and
Sure.
Yes.
I did this, and well, it was he laughed about this, and I feel more free to work like that.
Absolutely.
Nice. So I see also too Sam Lotfi, we were just talking about, also credited as an artist on issues 4 and 5, as well as yourself. So what was Sam's involvement exactly?
That that is the, the the I have to be honest with this answer, because I on issue 0 and 1 and 2 I was I imagine I have I don't remember exactly, but I had a month per issue. I have to do an issue in a month, so
Okay.
I have some deadlines, and I remember the editor gave me a wrong deadline on issue 3. So in issue 3, I have more time. For example, I have a month and a half, and I was, well, this is. I was always running, and suddenly I have a month. Yes, I'm in a holiday,
Yeah.
and I was blaming me because on the previous issues I was always 2 days late on deadline. But I remember talking about, well, don't worry, you have to be faster on the next one, so you will have the when you get to issue 6, issue 5, you won't be tight at that period. So I was, yes, I gonna do faster. So on issue 2, I have the help of a friend, Germán Ramospe, who is a great artist. He helped me with some inks and on backgrounds and some
Okay.
in a scene. So I was really running against time. But when it came the deadline of issue 3, I have that deadline, and I never asked. That was a mistake of mine. So I said, I have, well, and that, so the first panels where you have that a lot of ink, you're now seeing, well, the cover, and those panels are really have a lot of work. That was because of the time I was thinking I have. And yes, and suddenly Anthony, the editor, who was a nice guy, but he make a mistake. He wrote me and said, Mauro, oops, I I, I I give you a wrong deadline. We don't have this time. So for issue 4 and 5, we need another artist. So I said, well, I really get angry and sad, and I was really, yes, I was angry. I have to
Good.
say, and I said, well,
Understandable.
but that wasn't my fault. I was getting in time, and no, but well, and I remember they want to give Sam Lofty the last 10 pages of the issue 5. I said, no, it's a shit. I don't like to. I would like to finish the comic. I would like to
Yeah.
finish the miniseries. I started. Please let me finish. I
Absolutely.
accept because in any comic there's a lot of feeling artists. I don't have any problem with that. But let me finish the comic. For me, it's really important. We wanna do a great job. Some I haven't seen any pages of some, but I trust in Anthony, and when we negotiate a little, just a little, and they gave me the last scenes of the issue 5. So
Good.
that's why some panels on issue 3 are more work, because I thought I was having more time.
I see. So
Yeah,
But
they
with
look
Sam,
great.
it was okay. With Sam, we chat a little, and was a nice guy, and I have any problem with him. It's
no,
a
sure. It's just,
colleague that came to work and finished the work they. If I was in the position of Sam, I of course I wanna accept and work
Yeah.
as good as I can.
Well, I
of course.
think too, like if you start something, right, and you enjoy doing it, I think that's something that, as an artist for me too, like I want to finish it. You know what I
Of
mean?
course, I
So
think it's like a marathonist. You are you want to cross the line. You want
yeah,
to get in what,
Hmm.
and that's
Absolutely.
what that happened.
Have that ownership. Yes, absolutely. In issue 2, I felt that you really captured the movement of the Evil Dead really well. I'll just bring that up. Can you tell us about how you captured this exactly?
The movement of
Absolutely.
the,
Yeah. So there's
the
a double
evil.
pager here. That's
Yes. That
you
was
drew a lot of
really
inspiration
fun.
from the films here.
Yes, I always well, I love that camera movement since I saw
It reminds me of
Evil
the
Dead.
windmill scene in Army of Darkness at the windmill. You know, when the evil is
Yes,
chasing Ash and he's against the door.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. That as I remember, because I remember I saw Army of Darkness first, then I saw Evil Dead 1 with all in VHS, and then
okay,
Evil Dead 2.
yeah. That's so
I
funny. I
remember.
feel like because that's how I saw him too. I think
Right.
I ended up on Army of Darkness first, and then I learned there was more, and then I
Yes.
went back.
Yes. Because Army of Darkness. Well, it have a production of Dino de Laurentiis, and have it was more have more promotion,
Mhm.
so it was easier to get on the VHS at
For
the
sure.
video club, as we call here. Um, so, but that camera movement, I remember I really liked that POV, and
Mhm.
it wasn't so difficult because it's like draw on a storyboard. It's more an storyboard than a comic. You
Mhm.
have to put on the first panel the characters in a really in a distant space in a plane, and you have to follow them running, and then you're going closer, and break some glass or wood or trees, or here's some doors. So
Slam a door. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Mm,
and there
excellent.
I
I
put
love.
a
I really love
Borges.
this page.
Yes,
It's
I
great.
put a book of Borges there, who's the most important writer from Argentina, Jorge Luis
see that.
Borges. So I on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 6th panel there's a book of him. Batman. It's
I see.
a blink to the Argentinians.
Yeah,
yes.
excellent. Nice.
That's great. And then I noticed that too. I think we kind of touched a little bit on it earlier. Is that me and Spud were talking, and we noticed the S-Mart Human Resources Manager, the Ted Rainsford, an issue, in issue 0 looks pretty spot on to Ted Raimi. Was that your idea? Or?
No. That was on the script.
Okay.
It was on the script, and
that was in the script, right?
Yes. So
and then I know you talked about the little Easter egg there with the Three Stooges, right?
Yes. That was mine. But yes, Ted Raimi, I remember on the script, I have the link, and I remember saying, yes, I know him. Sam's brother.
Immediately recognize that as Ted Raimi. So you've done very well with his likeness. You really have.
Thanks.
Yeah, it looks great.
Beautiful.
I did I tried to do the same with Bruce Campbell, but now at this with distance, I see it's not too sim. Bruce Campbell, if I have to do again, I know I could do a better Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Well,
practice makes perfect. But no, I think that was Bruce was fine as well.
I punished myself. Sorry.
Yeah, no. You're fine. I really enjoy your rather unique art style, and I quote Newsarama by saying, Vargas complements the script with the Saturday morning cartoon memories that his long and angular figures evoke. And I love that, because there's definitely a morning cartoon vibe to your artwork, and I love that. That's very cartoony, and it works. Did you feel that your art style was well received by fans?
I remember when first issue 0 came out, I was really nervous because I always have that confrontation that with editors. I was sending at that time samples that they say, it's too cartoony. You should be more realistic. It's well done, but it's too cartoony. So I had that trouble on getting work. I always was working on as an inker for other artists, or doing child books here in Argentina, and I remember all the critics were from the editors, and now that was the time when I said, well, now it's at the stores, and immediately, thanks to internet, I wanna read what's the opinion of the real readers and the fans of this franchise, because you draw, and if you show to your social network media, you receive a lot of likes and thumbs up, and you are the genius and fine, and they're all familiars or friends, and it's not the real reader. So when it came, I remember I searched a lot, and I relaxed that there wasn't any bad critic, and it passed several months, and I was always trying to find a negative critic. The most negative I remember I read was a guy who said, I prefer it more realistic, but it's okay. And I'd say, well, they didn't kill me. So I was having a fantasy of having another opportunity later with the character. Well, that doesn't happen. And so
yet.
I really would like to do a better Ash.
Absolutely. They talk about an animated series with Ash versus the Evil Dead continuing that
really?
TV series as an animated series, and I could see your art style working for that, you know. And I say the same thing about Nick Bradshaw as well.
Yes, he's really great. Yes,
he's got that cartoony vibe as well. So you know, like just a little side comment there. Yes,
then,
Jake.
Sorry if my English is getting too Tarzan-esque. Sometimes it's really maybe it's bad.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
You obviously drew some inspiration from other iconic like Army of Darkness imagery in some parts, like for this one, for example, right?
Yes. The poster of
yes, it feels like the poster, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes, that was I don't remember. I think that was mine. I think I don't remember that on the script. Maybe I do, yes, because of being a fan. But there, the relation with Chad was like we were nerd friends and fanatics of the saga. So any detail I add of the franchise was I had the celebration of Chad. So it was for me. Was okay.
So
Anthony was okay, but he was. I remember the editor was he was focused on a comic shop he was opening, so he was in another mess.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I love when you guys put in those little bits and pieces and little Easter eggs, you know, because those are the things I definitely really enjoy seeing throughout, like the series
comes
too.
to mind, doesn't it? Like,
I remember some for example on the issue 0. Well, they do they do a close up. Because of this illustration was bigger. And I remember I did the Oldsmobile Delta 88, and the colorists do painted red. So I really alarm when I see this, because I say, well, if that appears in a cover, all the fans are gonna kill us. And I remember maybe they wanna blame me, and I don't have any fault, and I advise in time, sorry, but it's this color, and I send some pictures, and they changed that yellow cream tone.
Do you have like much communication with like the colorists and stuff like that too?
No, I think because of that correction, she never said hello to me. She was like, she was really, I don't know what happened with. She's a Canadian colorist,
Okay.
and I really loved his work. I loved the palette she used, and she was really fast. But she never said. And I remember adding her on Facebook and say, "Hey, hi, Tiona, I love your work. I'm the guy of." She saw the message and never answered. So, well,
oh wow!
How dare you correct my color?
no, I think I thought it was bad, but
yeah, I mean, as a fan, you know,
yes,
as a fan,
but I
you
was
did her a
really
favor,
and I didn't say to her. I said to Anthony, the editor, but I don't know if it was for that. But she immediately goes to Marvel and do 3-4 comics per month. She was a machine.
Wow.
Yes.
I just want to have a look at your covers. You, like I said, you did contribute a cover for each issue. So, of course, issue 0 and 1 being similar. One just more of a panned out. Oh, you know, the whole image, I guess.
Yes.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was the first image I did. I did that more as a concept than for a cover, and they liked I did that image as a I knew about the story, and I do that. I did that, guys, from like a prom. Yes, that was the concept, and then I do the other as a cover.
Yeah, that's
That
a
was
great. I like
yes.
that a lot.
Right. So that was the first
And the
image
work.
you submitted. You said it's the first image you submitted to Dynamite for the series.
Yes,
Yes.
I remember some Ash poses I did, and the guy standing saying groovy, that an image I did. That was the first. Yes, I have the choice of not doing any cover. Anthony asked me if I want, and of course I would draw, because I'm a really big fan of. I wasn't lying him when I asked for the job, because I knew there was a comic on Dynamite, and I found the editor on Twitter, and I sent that images.
Yeah.
And so I was really searching to do this Ash comic. And
I think it's awesome too when you get in there and like I love it. Like the fact that you also did the interiors too. I like
yes,
that you also did the covers too, which is
yes,
awesome.
yes, yes, yes,
Exactly. You don't see that too often.
yes. And the
No,
colors there were really, really cool. I love the colors.
Absolutely. The football one. That's great. And the finale there. I love the hand on his leg there. That's great.
Yes. Yes, I remember of that, not sending the layout. I remember they have the trust of what I was sending. I think I was because I did a really loosey pencil and ink really fast, and yeah.
yeah, I love the covers. Did you? I mean, I have a bunch of the covers behind me too. But like one in particular, there's a Breakfast Club cover.
Yes,
Um,
that I didn't have. I don't remember
Yeah,
who was.
I know you didn't do it, but the number 5, the
Yes,
last issue too, like
yes,
I get Breakfast Club vibes from Matt too.
yes,
At the very end of Breakfast Club, you know, he's coming out.
Yeah.
You know
yes,
what I mean? And
Yeah, the fish,
Ash
yeah.
got he's got his boomstick going up. I think
yes,
that's
I don't know if you remember the Stars series of Army of Ash, the TV series from Stars.
Stars. Yeah.
There's a chapter they went to the high school,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
and
Mhm.
I remember I was watching, and they said, well, maybe maybe the street guy have a look at that comic. I was
Yeah.
I thought it was my thought. Yeah,
Very good.
that's maybe the first. Yeah, that faces
Small
and the
concept.
groovy guy was the and
Mhm.
the image of the car was the first I sent via Twitter, just to
Yeah.
as a fan.
Captured his
Great.
chin beautifully.
I try to do the same with Big Trouble in Little China with
Oh yeah.
John
Oh
Carpenter,
yeah.
but I have a chat with John Carpenter. It was amazing, but I never get the. He gave me the mail of his wife
Mhm.
to send samples. I do a cover as a fan,
Yeah.
but she never answered. So I couldn't get any Big Trouble in Little China work.
Nice. That's a good series too.
It is. Yeah. Excellent. Jake.
Yeah. So also too, like, what else are you working on at the moment, Mauro?
Well, I'm working on storyboards, but now the storyboards works are really in low because of IE, artificial intelligence, and I'm working more on personal projects and a comic for Italy. It's called Hell Rider, and I'm on issue 2 right now. And actually, a guy like Ghost Rider, but it's called Hell Rider, and it's a motorcycle guy and have some powers, and that's the comic I'm doing, and I'm doing another comic for a site here. The title is Rompemundos. I'm working on that, and then always doing some project with my wife, doing books, child books, or some horror books from. I have to find. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
This kind of.
No, so they're like coloring books or what?
No, these are
Oh, okay.
illustration are tales, horror tales for teens like R.L. Stein, and I'm doing the images.
Yeah, like Goosebumps stuff.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yes,
yeah.
That's awesome.
We have 2 of these, but I'm doing that. Personal comics, comic for Italy. This works with her, and well, that's the stuff. But well, I would really like to get involved in the comic in the US market with Ash or any characters.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, they keep putting a new series out every year, pretty much. We had Army of Darkness Forever a couple of years ago, and we've got crossover with Red Sonja coming up in April.
So, yes. But now the editor, a couple of editors I work on Dynamite, they leave, and now I really don't know who is. I think it's Matt Edelson, the editor in chief, but as Chris Sims and as Trayona Farrell, he never answered a mail, so I don't have luck there.
Yeah. Also, too, I'm a big Crossed fan, and I saw you had some involvement in the Crossed series by Avatar Press. What was your involvement? Because that's aside from Army of Darkness, that's probably one of my favorite comic series.
Right. Well, I did a lot of inks there. Yeah. I inked a lot for Germán Ramos. I was in a studio with other 8-9 guys, and a girl, I remember, Rocio, and I inked for Fernando Furukawa, who did a lot of Crossed titles. I work with Rafael Ortiz. I ink a whole miniseries of Crossed. I don't remember the other title. Crossed.
The Badlands.
Badlands, I think.
Badlands.
But I didn't appear on the credits.
Okay.
And at the end of that period, I drew some pages of a story that Germán Ramos was doing, where there was a nerd guy who was fan of comics, and the version of the comic he was reading was with my style. I drew that. So I did a couple of pages, but they never sent the comics, so I only saw on the down with the piracy downloading the comic, and I never saw the. I remember the Avatar Press have a serious problem with the color.
Yeah.
We always were hating the colors they did. but now it was a good time because I have work. I ink other guys, and it was a great time, like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, the website League of Comic Geeks certainly credit you as a inker on Crossed. So at least
Yes.
somebody did. I'm glad somebody did.
Okay, thanks.
That's great.
Thanks.
I thought we'd just open up to some audience questions. A friend of ours, Minecraft Troller, has left some questions for us to ask. So I'll just bring them up now. Were there any guidelines from the licensor? Was there any specific "don't do this" rules you had to abide by? Was there anything that you weren't allowed to do?
It was really They all were really nice, and I think when they knew I was a hardcore fan, I think they were resting. I was really worried, and there's a detail I want to show you here. There was a mistake on some print on issue 3. No, in issue 0. Sorry, that I advised really late. No, not too late. I sent the mail and I said no. There's here as a huge mistake, and I sent the correct version because I did this with the.
Yeah. I can bring this up.
Here he hasn't the mechanical hand.
His gauntlet. Of course.
Same machine. He left and he had. So I saw this and I said no. And as fast as I could, I resent the correct page, and then they print this.
And they still printed it, didn't they? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Well, I didn't actually pick up on that. In that, did you, Jake?
No one noticed this.
No,
and
maybe
I would never tell this. I should never. But well, now can kill me. All the fans can say me, "Hey, idiot, what you did." But
you tried. You tried.
All we see is the homage the homage to the Spider-Man, the John Romita.
The John Romita cover.
And when I saw, I really want to kill me, but I sent. Believe me, I sent the correct page later, and well, I say the editor was in another world. Sorry, he was really opening, and he was drawing. He's an artist too. He is good. He's a fan of Darwin Cook, and he's trying to do something similar.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry. How long on average did it take you to complete a single issue?
Well, that was I don't remember exactly, but it was like a month per issue, almost. Yeah.
When you were given the right deadline.
I took more. I was having less time for the other issues.
Yeah.
And lastly, from Minecraft Troller, he asks, while this would be a better question for the colorist, he'll ask it anyway, why did Ash have a blue chainsaw in this series? Any idea?
No.
It reminds me of how you were saying with the Delta, how that was originally blue.
Yes, I think she wasn't a fan of, or she was really busy. I don't know what the decision of her of some things. Anyway, I think she did a really cool job.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. SJ asks, you mentioned working with your wife earlier. Is your wife an author? Is she a writer?
She's a writer. She's more with the books, but she's a Luciana Mursi. You can find them. Her. She's it's my wife, but she is a a cool writer and have some child fans here.
That's great. Great. Well, if you have any links you want to share with me, I can post them later in the.
Yes, of course.
In this live.
Yes.
Post them below.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Katie asks, are you going to be appearing at any conventions as a guest this year?
No, because I'm in Argentina.
Argentina.
Yes, and I don't even go
the
to
convention scene like in Argentina.
No, here is an Argentina Comic Con.
Yeah,
it's huge, and I only went at the first because I did a comic for Metegol. Is a soccer comic from an animated movie, and I did 2 issues of that comic, and I remember I was invited there, but I'm not so fanatic of went to convention. I go more as a guy who maybe wants to meet another artist or go to a talking with another with a famous artist, or when they do the expositions of originals. I'm more fan of that than to be on a. I was invited, but I never went. Sorry. So, but I know if I want to be in the comic industry, I have to be on streams. I have to answer. Yes, because I always was like in a cave, so no one knows me even here. So.
More of a behind the scenes kind of guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's okay.
Absolutely.
So thank you both for this invitation.
No, absolutely. No, it's our pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking to a fan, a big fan of the franchise, let alone a talented illustrator such as yourself. So
yeah, absolutely. I saw Frank ask. He didn't ask the question, but he mentioned that a cross versus Army of Darkness crossover would be amazing. I know we did a stream with Frank Hanna at the beginning of February, and that was, one of the questions was what would be a crossover he would want to see happen. And he mentioned Cross versus Army of Darkness would be, some crazy post-apocalyptic kind of thing would be pretty awesome, and I would be so for that as well.
Yes,
that would work.
The thing with Ash is a character that could be in any title, because you can do against Gremlins if you want.
That'll be good.
Yeah, I love Gremlins too.
Excellent. Oh, he'll be feeding him after midnight on the first day, I think. Oh god. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Mauro, and for your contributions to our favorite comic book series.
No, thanks again to you. You were very nice, and when I see someone post the cover, I say, "Oh, I feel really grateful," because it was a great time in my life. It was almost 6 months. Working on a character I love, in a franchise I love. The movies I saw them several times. So I'm a fan. So count with me for anything.
Great. And I'm sorry it took us 8 years for us to talk to you about it.
No, it's never late. No, it's
never too late.
Don't worry, it's never late.
Excellent. Well, thank you as well to, I'll just get you to stick around for a moment, Mauro, but thanks everyone for watching today. We'll be back soon with more groovy creator interviews for you primitive screwheads. Until then, hail to the king, baby, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.
Bye. Thank you.